All right, hello everybody. Thought I would do a nice Saturday afternoon live stream. My wife and I made a trip last weekend actually to visit our sons in college, and while we were there, I of course said we need to do some CD shopping, which the whole family was up for. Hmm? Oh, okay, great. Uh, Hello, everyone. Let's try this again. My wife was telling me that I was not showing up live. She's sitting in the other room, so perhaps there was a delay, and now I am actually live. And I see some people are joining, which is a good sign. So, as I was saying at the beginning, when maybe I was live but not live, was that my wife and I were uh, last weekend we went to visit our sons that were in college and or that are in college, excuse me. And we while we were there, we were in Chattanooga, Tennessee, and I said we've got to do some CD shopping, right? And thankfully my whole family is into thrifting, picking, antiquing, and going to stores to shop for CDs. Now, the main one in Chattanooga that I wanted to definitely see and visit was this gigantic store called McKay's. And for anyone that's in the Tennessee area will know that McKay's sort of has this giant um, it's just a giant store full of they've got everything: records, cassettes, they've got cameras, stereo gear, DVDs, books, anything you can think of. And the interesting thing is, if you're a vinyl record collector, McKay's prices are a bit through the roof. And by a bit through the roof, I mean like you can find, a beat up copy of Fleetwood Mac's Rumors for $48. Like it's very expensive. So I very rarely buy records there, although you can do some digging and occasionally find a cheap dollar record here or there that's actually got some value. But for the most part, I just stick to CDs and books and even movies and DVDs. So this first stack of CDs right here, these are all ones I got at McKay's, and you'll be able to see the price tags on each because I just kept them on from our trip. But I got, let's see, I got 14 CDs in total while we were at McKay's. So I'll go through these and just show you some of the prices I've got that I got on some of these. The ones at the beginning, you're probably going to say, yeah, those are worth $1, if not less. But uh, here's the tip: when you go to McKay's, they have just racks of CDs all around the upper walls while you're there. But if you look across from those, oftentimes there's some shelving on the bottom, and it's in those shelving where you can find CDs from $1 to even like a quarter, and you can find scratch CDs that aren't really that scratched. And that's usually where I spend most of my time looking, to be honest with you. So let me show you some CDs. For instance, I found Peter Gabriel's "Shaking the Tree." So this is like a greatest hits, right? So 95 cents. Again, probably worth 95 cents, but I've been trying to listen to more Peter Gabriel lately. In fact, while we were in Chattanooga, I found a copy of his self-titled LP for $10 at a vintage store. And I picked that up, but it is currently for sale in my booth. But I thought it'd be fun to just listen to some Peter Gabriel. I also got kind of a no-brainer, B-52's Cosmic Thing for 95 cents. Again, most people will say that's worth 99 cents, but it's got the classic Love Shack and Rome, which Rome is really a song that I've started to grow to love over the last few years. It was played to death at the time it was out, but okay, here's one that's you're probably going to say, like, I can't even believe you paid 95 cents for this one. Van Halen's OU812, right? The second record with Sammy Hagar, I think. This one has, When It's Love on there. Cabo Wabo. Anyway, Oftentimes, I take these CDs, and after I listen to them for a while, I'll put them in my either my vintage booth or take them to shows. And I could throw a few more bucks on them after I'm done listening to them, and people will buy them. Now, this one you see a lot of places, especially thrift stores. And I for some reason I either used to have a copy or I couldn't find it, but I got Guru's Jazzmatazz, and so this is Guru from. Uh, why am I blanking on who was rapping with Guru? I'm sort of blanking on what group he was in, but so he's rapping, but it's got some great jazz players on there. Roy Ayers is on this, Donald Byrd, Lonnie Liston Smith, and it's basically a great, just like jazz album with Guru rapping over it. So this one I saw multiple copies of in this price range at 95 cents, but I picked this one up. It's kind of fun just to put on in the background and listen to. Another one I got was Pet Shop Boys Behavior. This is from 1990, and this is an album I'm not really that familiar with. And I've kind of been in and out of Pet Shop Boys recently, and thought this would be fun just to have to listen to at the house. So Behavior, 95 cents. Probably a common thrift store one, but this copy actually looks like it's got a couple little marks, but for the most part, good playable condition. Now, I actually picked up the Mighty Mighty Boss Tones. Let's face it, and again, this is one that you see a lot, and I paid $1.95 for this one. But this one has the obviously the big hit, the impression that I get, which is probably hardcore Mighty Mighty Boston fans. That's probably like their least favorite song of all time. But I put these when I take these CDs to shows. I usually put this one out, and I put like $8 on it on something, and a young guy was very excited to find this CD the other day at a show that I was doing in Huntsville, Alabama. So I pick them up when I find them if the price is right. Now, another one is I found this Hold Steady 2-disc set. So this is a CD and DVD, and it's a live album from their tour in I forget what year it was. The tour was. This came out in 2009, so it's probably 2008 or 2009. And I'm a lazy Hold Steady fan. They're sort of one of those bands that came out when we were transitioning from downloads to streaming music. So I feel like a lot of their releases get sort of just, people forget about them. But, $1.95, why not? I'll give it a shot. Now, this, I picked up Beck Odelais for $1.95. I have a copy of this that's unplayable. It's so scratched up. So I thought, why not? I would pick this up. Now, this album holds a little bit of a special place in my Nashville heart, because when I moved here in 1996, one of the very first concerts I saw was at 328 Performance Hall, which has been torn down. But before it was torn down, I saw Beck play on this album cycle there, and it was an outstanding show. Actually, the only time I've seen Beck play. When you see a band or an artist really early on, and then they just keep releasing music, and they keep doing great things, but you kind of want to hold the memory of only ever seeing them once on that great show. That's kind of what Beck's Odelay album reminds me of. Speaking of Beck, I picked up Mellow Gold. It's actually $2.95. One of the things I noticed at McKay's is some of their used CD prices are really rising, especially on albums that you would think that are sort of like pretty well known, but like Smashing Pumpkins' Siamese Dream there was $14, I think. And so some of those type Nirvana, Alice in Chains, like grunge era 90s CDs have really started to rise in price. But I picked this up for $2.95. I don't know. I love this album, and a lot of people, a lot of people have gotten more interested in Beck's early stuff. So I just saw Henry comment that he saw the Clash live one time. That's pretty awesome. I'm jealous. What year would it have been? Was it when they were Happy Clash or Mad Clash? When they were Clash. They were clashing with each other. Okay, these next two CDs I picked up solely because I have sold a ton of these in my vintage booth recently and at shows. And there's a younger audience that has seemed to really rediscover this band, even though the lead singer seems to be doing sort of interesting musical things on her own now. But there's been a real renewed interest in No Doubt with some of the younger crowd. And Tragic Kingdom is a CD that I sell very quickly whenever I'm doing a show and even in my booth. And these were both $1.95 each. I usually put like $8 or $10 on them. And like I said, they sell really quick. Now, this has the Spiderwebs, Just a Girl, and Don't Speak. So this is kind of the big hit album of theirs. The next one I think was Return to Saturn, which I actually bought a concert tee recently for, a used one. And I paid up for it, but it was like a brand new Return of Saturn shirt from 2000. The guy had bought. He saw him at Starwood Amphitheater here in Nashville. Put it in a closet, never wore it. So I currently have that for sale in my booth. If you ever need a extra large white No Doubt tour T-shirt, let me know. I am your guy. Wow, the Clash opened for the Who in Buffalo. That's pretty cool. That's a great show. Vinyl Record King, how many customers do you have? Okay, that's sort of a tough question. So I have a vintage booth, and that's in an antique mall. So I don't actually sit at the booth. I don't have to be there. The antique mall handles the booth sales for me. So I don't actually see how many people are coming in and out. But I think I've consistently sold over 100 items in the booth since I've started that in the last 100 items per month since I started the booth last November. So that's pretty good, I think, for where it is in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. And then customers at a record show or a vintage show solely depends on how many people and how well they've done getting people out to the show. The one that we recently did in Huntsville, though, it's hard to explain to you how busy we were. There was you could buy a ticket and get in at 10 a.m. and then the show started for free at 11 p.m. And there was a few people that bought the pre-sale tickets and came in. And I was a little nervous because there wasn't very many, early buyers. And then at 11, I looked at my wife and I was like, did they just drop a bus of people off? They came just rushing in, and I was right by the door, which was awesome. But we were just swamped for probably 4 to 5 straight hours, and I sold a ton of CDs, a ton of cassettes, records, stickers, buttons, all kind of stuff. I sold a bunch of shirts there too. We basically take a wide variety of things when we go to those shows, and we did really, really, really well. I'm doing a show March 30th here in Nashville, and I was stressed out because I sold too much stuff. Andrew says Behavior is an underrated Pet Shop Boy chill out album. That's exactly why I got it. I thought it'd be nice just to listen to while I'm sort of working, have it on in the background. I did get 3 more CDs I was actually really happy to find for my own collection at McKay's. And I thought the prices on these were really great. The first is Bob Mould's District Line. Now, Bob Mould is obviously from, Husker Du and the band Sugar, and has had a great solo career in and of himself. I paid $1 for this. I didn't even know this album existed. It came out in 2008, maybe, I think, on Anti Records. And this album I've really enjoyed listening to it. Brendan Canty, the drummer from Fugazi, plays drums on this album. And then Bob Mould basically plays every other instrument except for the cello. And if you like Bob Mould or Sugar or Husker Du, all those great acts, and you've never heard this District Line CD or album, be sure to check it out. Give it a stream. I was super happy to find that for 95 cents. Another one, and this is just classic, but why not? Echo and the Bunnymen's first album for $3.95. I love this album. Okay, all Echoes and the Bunnymen have great albums, but this is the one I always go back to. And the song Lost and Found is like that's my Echo and the Bunnymen jam, right? So $4 for this, I thought was actually a really great price. And I was super excited to pick it up. Let's see, just looking at some of the comments here. Mark says, as a 12-inch singles collector, one of my all-time favorites is Sledgehammer by Peter Gabriel. I would agree with that. I probably, on that 12-inch, there's probably some great versions on there. Maybe there's like a dub version or a remix that's probably really, really cool. I think that song is included on there. Here's a CD that I was super excited to find because, when you're shopping for music and you just put something out into the world and you're thinking, I would love to find something by this artist in a physical media form, whether it be a record, cassette, tape, whatever, CD. I've been listening to a lot of Fortet lately. Fortet just released an album on Friday, and it is great. But I was so excited. This was the first CD I found in that lower area that I was talking about where all the CDs are super cheap. I found Fortet's Rounds for 95 cents. Like, that's a really good price. This is a CD that's kind of hard to find online. A lot of them are, a lot of the copies are in the UK. This is from Domino, and doesn't have the year listed on here, so I'm not exactly sure when it is, but it doesn't even have a barcode on there. So I was super excited to find that just because I've been in a real Fortet rabbit hole. Now, one of the other things that I thought I would mention today is kind of give you an update on some of the things that I'm going to be reviewing. So if you guys have any questions on any gear or, anything that I've reviewed recently, let me know. I'm happy to answer any questions in the comments below. And I got another small batch of CDs that we can go through that I found at another store while we were in Chattanooga. The Vinyl Record Kings asked me how many CDs do I own. I've lost track. I'm really good at cataloging my records into Discogs, but CDs are really complicated to put into Discogs, and I almost just lazily put them in there. And I've yet to go back and get all of my CDs that I have from college and high school and all that into Discogs. So I'm losing track very quickly. But back to gear. This is something that I saw it come through my email inbox, and most everyone will know on my channel how much I enjoy buying stuff from this company. And when I saw this come through at such a great price, I just immediately picked it up. And that is the Shit Magni Heretic headphone amp. And it was on sale. They were doing like a blowout, right? This was like they were just getting rid of all this stock, and it was $59. So I think it was around $70 shipped to me. And I have been using this a lot here when I work from home. This is basically what you would see if we were to do a Zoom call or something while I'm at work. And I have really enjoyed, I did a review not too long ago on these SimGot IEM headphones, which is my first pair. I guess they're really inner ear monitors, not headphones, but these SimGot IEMs, I did a review on these a couple, or maybe last month, and I really wanted to use them a lot more. And this, the Shit Magni Heretic has been a really wonderful tool to be able to get the best performance out of these. Now, one of the things that I have coming sent to me, a company reached out recently, is they're going to be sending me a portable DAC that I can also pair with these IEMs, which should be interesting because I've never reviewed a portable DAC before. I do have this iFi. I already forgot what it's called. I do have this little portable DAC that I actually bought for about $70 from, I think, headphones.com or something. And I've been pairing that with these when listening to them on my phone, rather than just using like your cheap dongle. And I've really enjoyed this over just using like a regular dongle. Jake says that he loves Shit products. The man, he is blown away every Phonopre he's compared it to. That's awesome. Which Phonopres have you compared them to? I have a Vincent Phono preamp that I found used. It was like, when it came out, I think it was like $800 or something crazy. And I bought it off somebody on Facebook for a couple $100. They were basically just offloading it. And I've really enjoyed that one. But before I had that one, I was using the Shit Phono Pre, and it is a good one. So I'm excited when that portable DAC comes in to maybe do some reviews on that as well. Here's another thing that I've got. And you've probably seen a couple people. I think Randy from Cheap Audio Man just reviewed this, but if I do this, it kind of looks like they're my eyes, right? Ooh. I have this Fozzy Audio LC30 switcher, something like that. What is it? Yeah, LC30. So I'm going to be reviewing this soon. This is one of those products where you can basically connect multiple things to it. So you can connect 2 amplifiers, or you can connect 2 sets of speakers and bounce back and forth between the two. If you've watched my channel before, you've seen that I actually have the Duke Audio 1 Little Bear version of this that I bought for myself a few years ago. I'm just really enjoying watching my mouth move while these are right here. It's like, but I'm going to do a review on this, and I keep trying to think, how do you review a switcher? And I think my goal is I'm just going to compare this to like one of the $10 or $12 vintage AB switch things that you can buy or find at a thrift store for like next to nothing, or estate sales. Maybe just do a comparison. Like, why would you buy this over that little $12 thing? A couple other things that I'm reviewing. The next video should be about the Duke Audio H7 Pro, which I don't have right here. It's in the other room. I've got it set up that I'm testing that. I think Matt just did a review on that product this weekend on his channel. And so it's another Class D amp with VU meters. And I also have a topping deck, and the exact version, it's like the DO7 Octo Pro Octo, something along those lines. So I am going to do a review on that as well. One other thing that I think is either going to be really great or really dumb is I bought a $16 Walkman at Walmart. So I thought it'd be fun to unbox that and give it a quick test and see if just how bad it is, to be honest with you. And while I'm at it, I actually bought for 50 cents, I bought one of these USB cassette players you can buy on Amazon for like 20 bucks. I found this at a yard sale this morning for 50 cents. So I'm probably going to, let's give you an idea. It's one of these. Yeah. So maybe I'll include that in the cassette player Walkman video as well. Mark says he's running the Fozzy T20 tube amp set of mission speakers. That's awesome. That's great. It's very, very, very cool. There's something else I was going to show you. Oh, yeah. So, all right. So one of the things that on the channel, I'm getting sent a lot of Class D amplifiers, which I think is great, and they're fun to review. But I recently did a comparison between an $80 SMS SLU DAC and my $800 Denafrips Aries 2 DAC. And that one got a little spicy. People have had a lot of opinions on that one. So let me just prepare you. It's only going to get worse because I'm going to do a review of a $3 Radio Shack DAC that I bought yesterday. I got this last night at the at my local thrift store. And so you can see there's the RCA out, right? And there's the in. Actually, to be honest with you, I feel like this cable alone is worth $3. So it's probably fine, right? Like, you know, it'll be great. At least the cable will be great. It's an optical cable. But I thought it would be interesting to do a review comparing a $3 Radio Shack DAC that I found at the thrift store with a more expensive one. I don't know. We'll see. Actually, the only thing is that I've got to find a 6-volt DC wall charger for it. I might have one laying around here, actually. But so I don't know. It's been a lot of fun doing these Class D amplifier videos, but I'm also trying to just sprinkle in some random things just to kind of change the channel up and do a few other little random things. Now, that's kind of it for gear. I think that's mostly everything that I've got on its way that I can review. And so I'm really excited. If there's anything that you guys are interested in me specifically reviewing, please let me know. I'm always interested in, like, I don't know, trying to get products that people are actually, you know, currently using or want to do. As you guys know, I probably, you know, you probably can tell now, I really love comparing two products. I think that that's sometimes a little bit more value than just doing a regular old, you know, just run of the mill. This is what this does, especially these Class D amps, because a lot of them are starting to have a lot of similar features. So try to compare and contrast and see which one makes the most sense. That's kind of what I've had the most fun with. But like I said, if there's anything interesting that you guys would like for me to review, let me know. You can find my email address just on my channel page. And speaking of email, I'm actually building out a mailing list with email because I've got some things in the works related to the channel that I'm kind of building some things out once I get past some of these shows. That's gonna it's going to involve you being able to purchase items for me, musical items, if you will. And I want to be able to get all that information directly to you. And it's often easier to do that via email. Another place that I post a lot of stuff on is my Instagram account, which is just at forever analog _. And we've got a pretty fun little growing community over there if you use Instagram. That's basically where I post like what I'm listening to or vintage gear or anything I might find in the wild, stuff like that. It's just a fun place to kind of hang out and leave some comments there as well. But definitely consider joining the email list. If you do, it's the first link in the description below. It's one of those double opt-ins. So they're going to send you an email saying, did you mean to sign up for this email? And then you have to click that again. And then we are officially email buddies at that time. And whenever I send an email, mailing list email out, all you have to do is you can reply directly there and I'll receive the email and be able to get back to you. Okay, I found another stack of CDs. We'll go through these really quick and then get close to sort of wrapping things up unless anyone's got any questions for me. So this was the other stack of CDs that I bought while we were in Chattanooga. And I got these at St. Pete's Records, which is it's in Chattanooga, great store, and lots of vinyl records. And I perused those, but all along the one section of the wall, just racks of CDs. So started going through those, and even some on the floor. Found some good ones laying on the floor. I got the Pulp Fiction soundtrack for $3. This is probably like $1 CD, to be honest with you. But whenever I have this one out of my booth or at shows, people just love to pick it up and look at it and check it out. And people seem to be interested in it, obviously, because of the movie. Yeah, I remember this one, right? And it has all the great dialogue from the movie sort of intertwined between the songs. That's not the right word, but I went for it. David Bowie's Changes. Again, sort of like a greatest hits. This is $5. These things are everywhere, but I always pick them up when I find them if they're a good price, because there's a new generation of Bowie fans that whenever I have this on my tables, they always run up and grab it, and they're excited to find anything Bowie that's affordable, because as we know, vinyl Bowie has gotten not affordable. B-52s for $4. At the last show we had, a young lady picked this up and was so excited to find it and bought it. So I was excited to sell it to her. I just love this album, and I usually pick it up whenever I see it. Here's one that I was really excited about. Well, let me tell you one I'm not, Pixies, Bossa Nova for $5. Probably, okay, I think this is when Kim was kind of checked out, right? So maybe not the best Pixies album, but this has Dig for Fire on there, which was probably one of their biggest songs with Kim. Let it be known. Got a couple other good ones in here. This one I was really excited to find because I've been listening to this band a lot lately, and it's Portishead's Dummy. So $5. There's a nice little meta shadow going on right here, if you can see me there. This album I've really, really enjoyed, and I think, going back to what I was saying earlier, I think there's sort of a new generation of folks that are getting into this, getting into Portishead. And I really like listening to Portishead for testing gear, especially their live album. It's really, really great for that. I picked up Bad Religion's Stranger Than Fiction. And what's funny is we were driving out on the way to Chattanooga. They played Infected on Sirius XM, and I've been trying to pick up Bad Religion CDs when I find them for cheap, and I thought, oh, I should pick that one up. This is their major label album from Atlantic, so Bad Religion, like hardcore Bad Religion fans would probably be like, can't believe you paid $5 for that, but I listened to it and really enjoy it. There's a song on here called Television, track 8, and Tim Armstrong from Rancid sings on that. And I've mentioned it before, but I'll mention it again. We're seeing Rancid and Green Day this summer. Oh, is anyone else going to see Weezer this summer? Fall? September? What is September anyway? I just picked up tickets. It's going to be Weezer, Flaming Lips, and Dinosaur Jr. I'm more going for Dinosaur Jr. and the Flaming Lips, and then Weezer. Blue Album. That's basically it. A friend of mine's going with me. We both said the minute they play Beverly Hills, we will probably get up and leave. I apologize if Beverly Hills is your go-to Weezer song. I didn't mean to offend you. Okay, I'll do this one and then I'll show you the last two I got. I also picked up Tears for Fears, a greatest hits album, and this has them all, right? So in the Seas of Love, Everybody Wants to Rule the World, Shout, Head Over Heels, Mad World. I also picked up a 95-cent copy of Donnie Darko on DVD at McKay's, which I didn't bring out. But when the guy was checking me out at McKay's, he picked up Donnie Darko and he was like, "This is such a great movie." And then he picked up Tears for Fears. He's like, "Oh man, Mad World, Donnie Darko." And then he saw my copy of Echo and the Bunnymen. He was like, "You're getting all the great stuff." So we hit it off pretty quickly. But yeah, $5. People love their Tears for Fears. Songs from Big Chair obviously is the one that sells like insanely fast for me, but I get that one too, just in case someone wants a little bit more flavor than just that one. Okay, these last two are kind of no-brainers. It kind of goes to what Andrew's talking about with his most recent comment, which CDs are so much better than vinyl now, so much better value than vinyl right now. And this album in particular, Pink Floyd's Adam Heart Mother, has gotten the LP version. People are charging a lot for it. And, you know, this is one of those albums that's kind of fun to put on in the background and sort of listen to it in that manner. But, you know, it's that's what I enjoy this for. So to have it for $7 versus overpaying for a very expensive LP copy, which I do have this on vinyl. I think. I don't know. I'll either look at seeing how the condition of the vinyl is and either consider selling the vinyl or keeping this or vice versa. But for $7, I was so excited to find this one. It's gotten to be a harder copy to find. And then this is kind of a no-brainer, but I picked up a copy of Pink Floyd's The Wall, double disc CD set, $9. Again, I love my LPs, but this is the perfect album to listen to on CD because it, you know, we're talking 2 CDs and you're going to get to listen to everything. Meanwhile, the LP set is considerably, it's more. You're doing a lot of flipping when then this is on. So this one for me is just a lot of fun to have just available and playing in the background. So that is everything that I found while I was there. I think I counted. It was over 20 CDs. I also picked up a lot of little random things. I got a couple cassette tapes. I think a Cyndi Lauper tape and an Adam Ant cassette tape that were pretty cheap, and little things like that. But, you know, last weekend we were traveling and I was not able to make a video due to being out of town. And the weekend before that, we were busy selling at the Huntsville Flea Show. So I got a little behind on making my videos, and I thought it would be fun today to just get together and show you kind of what I bought with these, or I bought while I was on my recent trip. I have found that, I don't know about how shops are in your area, but in the Nashville area, sometimes, you know, prices get a little high. I think just because of the amount of folks we've got coming in and out of town and or living here now. And so it's often fun for me to be able to get out of town for, you know, a couple hour drive, go visit some family, in this instance, visit our kids in college who we hadn't seen for a little bit and were missing, and be able to spend the day driving around and trying to find great price CDs. So it was absolutely worth it to find all these for us and to get that good family time in. So like I said, hope you enjoyed this video. Just wanted to kind of do something on a Saturday, hang out a little bit. I'm so grateful to everyone who tuned in and for anyone who watches this after I post it. Like I said, if you'd be interested in joining my email list, click that link below and you can join that, and you'll be able to reach out at any time, and we can stay in touch. But for that, I don't know about you, but it is beautiful outside. So I'm going to let everyone go and get some sun. Have a great weekend.